Welcome back to ILTV on the Hour. We're live in Israel, bringing you the biggest headlines from the region. I'm Lidar Lazi, and today is day 723 of the war in Gaza. We begin with breaking news of a terror attack at the Jit Junction near the community of Kedumim in Samaria. One Israeli man in his 20s was seriously injured. He is suffering from a headshot wound and a possible gunshot wound. The terrorist was neutralized at the scene by security forces. The IDF issued a statement saying the incident is currently under investigation and at this hour is conducting sweeps of the area. And in other news, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to meet with President Trump at the White House on Monday to discuss the Gaza war. Meanwhile, U.S. President Trump today wrote on his Truth Social that, quote, "We have a real chance for greatness in the Middle East. All are on board for something special. First time ever. We will get it done." This opens up a lot of questions. Is he referring to the U.S. formulated 21-point peace plan for ending the war in Gaza, whose details were revealed this weekend? Well, according to the plan, it includes an end to the fighting and gradual withdrawal of IDF forces from Gaza, the immediate release of all 48 remaining hostages, a boost in humanitarian aid, the formation of a temporary government to administer Gaza that would not include Hamas, and the deployment of a multinational Arab Muslim force that would maintain security in the Strip. The plan also contains points that both Israel and Hamas have previously said they would reject. For Israel, that includes the eventual inclusion of the Palestinian Authority in the governance of Gaza and a renewal of peace talks. And for Hamas, a demand that it agrees to a full disarmament. Reacting to the plan, a delegation of leaders from the Council of Jewish Settlements in Judea and Samaria flew to the United States to meet with Netanyahu in order to, quote, ensure that a terror state that will threaten all Israeli citizens does not arise, and to urge the Prime Minister to press forward on annexation of Judea and Samaria despite President Trump's stated opposition to the move. Prime Minister Netanyahu is reportedly set to discuss this issue with the president. And meanwhile, opposition leader from Yesh Atid, Yair Lapid, repeated his offer to provide enough backing for this government in the Knesset to offset the potential defections of Bezalel Smotrich and Itamar Ben-Gvir from the coalition if Netanyahu were to agree to a deal. And meanwhile, Israeli troops continue to advance in Gaza City. Defense Minister Israel Katz says that the IDF is moving into a phase aimed at achieving full dominance over Hamas. Defense Minister Katz said that more than 750,000 Palestinians have now evacuated Gaza City for humanitarian zones in the south of the Strip. An estimated 200,000 Gazans still remain in the city, defying IDF evacuation directives aimed at protecting civilians. Meanwhile, over the course of the past 24 hours, the Air Force struck approximately 140 terrorist targets throughout the Gaza Strip. Among the targets attacked were military buildings, combat centers, terrorist infrastructure, and numerous Hamas terrorists. And our final story at this hour, the United Nations has reimposed the so-called snapback sanctions on Iran after negotiations between the Tehran regime and envoys from the UK, France, and Germany failed to reach agreement on procedures to monitor Tehran's nuclear program. The move reimposes sanctions that were lifted after the signing of the 2015 nuclear agreement, including a ban on arms sales, freezing of its assets abroad, and a limitation on its ballistic missiles program. Talks reached a stalemate over Iran's refusal to allow free inspection from the UN nuclear watchdog agency and a failure to provide a full accounting of its atomic energy operations. Israel's foreign ministry hailed the move, calling it a major development in response to Iran's ongoing violations, especially on its military nuclear program. The goal is clear: prevent a nuclear-armed Iran. The world must use every tool to achieve this goal. And that's all the time we have at this hour. Join us every hour on the Hour for the latest updates from the region. I'm Lidar Lazi. Thanks for watching.